as nutrition students, how do you feel as a nutrition student? How do you feel? Or how do you value yourself as a nutrition student? What do you think are you going to do? I would really like it to be interactive. I want to understand what you feel as a nutrition student, because it's not that because you did not get seat in any other college or in medical, you are here. You have to understand your value as a nutrition student, what miracles you can do in future as dietitians. Yeah? So what do you think is dietetics? We have a very esteemed, my own batchmate Barbara is there. She is a very senior dietitian here in Shillong. And Rituba is also here. Yeah, Rituba. We all saw her. She was our idol when she was working in Nazrul and we were students here. So if you want to know the real world of dietetics, I think I'll just give you just a few insights. But I will try to make you understand your own value, what all you all can do. So before I make you understand your own value, I want you to understand by these successful cases which I have cured, and towards the end of the session, I'm going to ask you how is each case relevant to your BSc degree in nutrition. Okay? So this is the case of a 72 years old senior citizen admitted in the hospital for lung infection. He was almost declared dead. On the 25th of April, he was admitted for lung infection, and then he went to the ICU. He came back to the IPT. ICU, IPT, it was repeating. He also happens to be my relative, and that's why I know his case very well. So this person, he fought cancer earlier. He was totally normal. He fought lung infections previously also. He was totally normal. He had heart issues, severe heart issues. His heart was inflamed. During the COVID times, he was affected with COVID despite the vaccination, and he survived that also. Okay? And then after 2 years, this is what happened to him. But 25th of that month, he was admitted. He kept on doing the rounds from ICU, IPD. Twice he was released from the hospital, and then in few hours they had to come back because his lungs could not pull in oxygen. Okay. Then finally, in the coming month, it was the 16th of that month, May, and this person, we got to know he got cirrhosis. Okay. I was wondering, how can this happen? This hospital, I know the dietitians, the chief dietitian I know. How can this happen? He must have been maintained so well. His condition must have been managed so well. Okay. Then we got to know that 4 injections of albumin were given. Okay. Because when the liver is affected, especially cirrhosis, albumin gets drained out, and then there's ascites also. But he did not even have ascites. It was only that his albumin was low. 16th went, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20th of that month, got to know he was put under full ventilation. Whereas on the 16th of that month, when I got to know that he got cirrhosis, that his reports were saying that he got cirrhosis, I had messaged the dietitian, whom I knew so well for years, that he is my uncle, please take care of this case personally, and please implement this and this things. So this will help in his recovery. On the 20th, when I heard that this person was put under full ventilation, 20th gone, 21st gone. His family members, all the family members, they all gathered outside the hospital. They were planning for his funeral. Okay? They were planning for his funeral. Which priest will come and do the puja? In our religion, Mukhabni is done. I mean, right, in the cremation. Who will do that? Okay. 22nd, because I have been observing, I have been hearing, patiently waiting that some miracle will happen, because I believe in the power of nutrition. Okay. What miracles nutrition can do. I went to the hospital on the 22nd as a visitor into the ICU, and I was observing him. A person who's about to die, if you all have seen somebody who's about to die, the legs are still, right? The person cannot move the legs. The person Even though he was on the ventilation, he was swallowing his own saliva. He was moving his legs, though very slowly. He was very weak, very, very weak. I thought, no, this person is very weak. He cannot perish like this. I did something which I shouldn't have done, but I did because I'm from this field and that patient matters to me. The file of that patient was there near the ICU bed. Okay, I turned the pages. I could not find the supplements which I told my friend to give. That was one mistake. Second mistake, no nutrition. Even though he was under the tube feeds, no nutrition was given. Only 0.9 calories of a particular supplement was given. 0.9 calories in 100 ml. Will that person have any energy? How can that person have energy? I mean, it was just leaving that person to die, you know. I went down to the dietetics department. The senior dietitian was not there. It was 1 p.m. I told her that he's my uncle, and I asked to administer albumin, and no, it is not given. And his potassium is low. He does not have ascites. His kidney is perfectly fine. His other parameters are fine. His hemoglobin is obviously little low, but not very low. Okay. Then I told her immediately please administer albumin, another supplement which is given in cancer patients. He is not a cancer patient, but I know what is there in that supplement used for cancer patients. Okay, we have the company here, Hexagon Nutrition, the sponsor here, and because that supplement has those amino acids which can revive a person. Okay, at 1 p.m. I went. 3 p.m. I called, it wasn't given. 4 p.m. I went back to the ICU, it was not given. It was administered only at 5:30 in the evening. Only only one feed of albumin and 2 feeds of that supplement. Next day, 9:30 a.m., when the relatives went to see him in the ICU, can you believe what happened? The person whom the doctor said ki we have just few hours left. We have tried everything. 17 lakhs gone till then. No children. What must have gone in the mind of that wife? You won't believe. When his nephew called him, he just looked like this. His wife asked, "Can you lift your hand?" He lifted up his hand. Can you see? In 1 week, he was discharged. And now we can see him going to people's places, attending marriage functions, going for birthdays, and he's riding a scooty. This is the power of nutrition. Why? I'm not maligning what they did. We at BSc level, what you have to know, that is what I'm trying to focus. Okay? Where it went wrong, you know, you all are, maybe most of you are from science background, you all learned what is osmosis, right? When it comes to liver, if the albumin is low, that means the body does not have albumin, right? If the body does not have albumin, albumin is the only medium which can attract other nutrients, fatty acids, and also the medicines, the drugs that were being pushed into to the veins. If that was not there, how can the medicines work, right? Albumin was administered, amino acids were admitted. Till that time, no energy, no calorie foods were given. And see the miracle of amino acids. You as dietitians, when you become dietitians, you have to have the basics very clear. Okay, your basics are very clear. I am just saying what I cure, not that. I'm not saying that what I cure, but how you have to start thinking. You as future dietitians, what you're studying, you don't like glycolysis, right? You don't like biochemistry, those boring cycles, glycolysis, citric acid cycle, Krebs cycle, you don't like, right? And you are annoyed with it. But this is the ABCs of dietetics. Okay? When you are studying this, do not limit it to the cycles only. You have to explore. I was a very bad bookworm. In fact, while coming after the tea, I could not find out the way to the auditorium. You know why? I'm not proud of it. I feel ashamed. Because I never visited the auditorium during my college days. College weeks were going on, everything was going on. I was a bookworm because I was the first batch of CND. Miss James was the person who brought CND to our college. She showed us our dreams, what we can do in future. Then we had a very good teacher, Ms. Vijayalakshmi Sinha. She got married unfortunately in her second year itself. She showed us the dream. How and what to do next after BSc CND or after BSc Nutrition. We had to appear for entrance test. There was no other way out. Entrance test I cannot guarantee. What I can guarantee, secure my percentage here in Shillong, right? Once my percentage is secured, once my knowledge is secured, then it's a different thing what I do there, right? That's why I did not waste a single day. Just before the Christmas vacation also, I don't know the librarians are still there or not, they were annoyed with me. It was so cold, I kept them sitting, please wait till the college closes. It was so cold. I was busy collecting because we had very few books in the library that time. It was not possible to buy everything. Internet was not that good that time. Okay? So here, this is another case which is not in the hospital setup. This is my own case. A 57 years old client with terrible knee pain. She had animal hyperplasia in the teeth. Okay? Severe gastric issues. Doctor advised for knee replacement surgery or keep the leg straight forever. Is it possible? How will she go to the toilet? She is a mother, she is a wife, she has to cook, right? Even if she has got maid, she may be a very rich woman. She will have to do some of her basic work. What will she do then? Right? So this client, she is from Delhi actually. And I did an online consultation over video consultation. You as BSc students, especially the first year students, have you gone through the principles of meal planning very carefully? How many of you can say at least 3 of the principles of meal planning that you studied in Dietetics by Sri Lakshmi? They don't have the book, Sri Lakshmi book, they have, right? It's in principles of meal planning. You all, that's why I asked in the beginning, where do you see yourself as a dietitian? It's not a glamorous job. It may be glamorous for the quacks. Okay? Very few celebrating nutritionists are real dietitians or nutritionists, okay? That's why I asked you. Dietetics is not just writing down a diet plan. You have to know, as per the principles of meal planning, you have to totally take proper analysis of the patient. Anthropometric measurements are already there, you know, right? You know what are anthropometric measurements? Then, what the person is eating. We take dietary recall. I take weekly dietary recall so that I get to know on a regular basis how much of protein or whatever the person is getting. Lifestyle matters. When Chief Guest Sir said it has to be affordable, we have to see, at this stage of BSc, we have to know if somebody cannot afford milk, what other alternative can be given, having almost the same amount of calcium and protein. That's why your BSc studies is very important. Okay? So coming back to this case, this lady, she was so worried and she had severe gastric issues, she could not digest foods and she was worried for the knee that मुझे हमेशा के लिए ऐसे रहना पड़ेगा. I said, wait, let me first of all understand. When we take the proper history, you can see clearly the nutritional status of that person, of whether, I won't call patient, of the person. If you take the proper recall, if you properly analyze, when I was in a video call, it is not so easy to understand the deficiency, but I could see that lady also had animal hyperplasia, which means severe deficiencies were already there. Deficiencies of what? Knee pain, teeth were bad, of what? And vitamin D we all are deficient. Yes, and vitamin K too. Okay? Once you analyze everything, once you identify where the diet is going wrong, plus the person also, if she is not able to digest, we also have to fix the digestion. There is no point in adding so and so food in the diet plan. That yes, you eat this, you eat that, you'll be fine. If she is not able to digest, we have to take care of the gut health. Step by step, we have to do it, okay? Even if you may be from Northeast, there are several foods which can cure many diseases. I being from Northeast, when I was in Delhi, I gave, fermented rice to eat to my patients. I'm still giving, say, sitting in Guwahati, I'm giving to the Punjabi and the Marwari population the fermented rice of the Assamese community. People who are non-vegetarian, I'm even giving the fermented fish, for vitamin B12. If they're taking, why go back? I mean, you have to come forward and explore all the nutritious foods, right? Okay, so this is the basic. And I asked this woman, when do you get the pain? Can you show me your x-ray? She did not have the x-ray. She did not have the x-ray report. Bone density, I found it was pretty well, because she did not have menopause till then. So bone density must not have been a problem. But the problem was in the joints. Okay? When we talk of the joints, what are there in the knee joint? Huh? Okay, the joints have got what? Ligaments, synovial fluid, right? So what should we focus on? We have to focus on regenerating those factories in our body which can manufacture the ligament, which can manufacture the synovial fluid, right? So where is it manufactured? Basic biochemistry again. All the enzymes that manufacture the ligament or that produce the synovial fluid are in the cells, in the lysosomes. You know what are the lysosomes? Yeah? Those are the cell organelles. Okay? So this is how your basic knowledge of basic nutrition is going to help in dealing any case. And this is one of the impossible cases which was cured. They were from Delhi. In 1 month she could sit down. They came down to Guwahati. मैम आपको 1 महीने आपको फॉलो किया बिना देखे, इसलिए हम गुवाहाटी आए हैं आपको देखने कि हम और अच्छा हो जाए. Can you believe this? This is the power of nutrition. I'm not boasting. I'm just saying the power of nutrition. Okay? Okay. Have you heard of cirrhosis being reversed? You know what is liver cirrhosis, right? So this is the case of a 47 years old male. No relief in pain and bloating. He is a very rich man. He owns 5 sweet shops in Guwahati. Every now and then, kuch bhi hota, he'll go down to Hyderabad. He'll fly down to Hyderabad because a lot of money. And then he thinks that going to Hyderabad will build a solution. 3 times in 6 months, he went to Hyderabad. Again and again, the same kind of medicines, the best of the and the most expensive medicines were given. Still, his stomach was totally bloated. He was scared to drink water. That the moment the water reached here, he used to start getting pain. That much of bloating and tightness was there in his stomach. That means what? He had a lot of gastric issues, right? We cannot cure it with medicines, with diet, but we have to fix the gut health, his digestibility. He also had ulcers. What will cure ulcers? You know the gut lining. You know the structure of the gut lining. What do we have? Those finger-like structures called villi. You have to know how the villi function, what is there as a protective layer on top of the villi, and how we can regenerate the villi, the tissues in the villi, so that they start producing mucus. Okay, the digestive enzymes will start forming because those are not forming, right? So first of all, my aim was to improve the gut lining, so that I can improve his digestion. I did a lot of things, and in 1 month he came, his stomach deflated, the gas all gone. And for 5 months this person kept on coming, right? You won't believe, impossible things happened. Not just his cirrhosis had come back, his liver was in a much better condition and grade 3 hepatomegaly to grade 1 it came. A liver fibroscan was also done, but interestingly, because his diet was good and he did everything, all the lifestyle changes he made was as per my prescription. So his liver fibroscan also started coming to normal, near to normal levels. Okay, unbelievable things what happened, because his diet was so good for 5 months. This person never used to sweat. He never used to get sweating, even though he played a lot as a child. He started sweating at the age of 47 years after having all these complications. Why? Nutrition was complete. The sebaceous glands started producing the sweat. The glands in the skin was so deflated. I mean, This is the power of nutrition. If nutrition is so good, then every cell of the body will regenerate and will come back to its rhythm of healing. Okay? Okay, what is Crohn's disease? Second year, third year students. Where does it happen? Huh? The picture, what is it showing? Okay, suppose a person comes without reports and says that I am having this and this problem. The problem started with loose motions, which means on and off had constipation, on and had loose motions, and then there was burning in the stomach area. This person went to several hospitals in India for 4 years. He came with this much of records, medical records. 3 hours I did his consultation. Going through the reports itself took 1.5 hours. Because they came with hope. He didn't come with hope. मैडम मैंने 4 साल तो इतने सारे हॉस्पिटल को दिखा दिया है, ये मुझे लेके आई है, his wife. पता नहीं आप क्या करोगे, करो कुछ अभी. And it was a challenge for me. I knew, yes, if I dig into the problems, I will cure it. I knew it. Okay? So when the history came, how it starts, something which is called irritable bowel syndrome, you know, when digestion is not good, on and off, loose motions, constipation, kuch bhi khao, it will just, you'll have to go to the latrine, yeah. And then gradually when he said कि मेरा फिर दर्द इधर आने लगा, इधर आने वाला means what? Suppose you don't get to see the reports. His latest report was 8 months back. He was showing me the pain was here and here, which means what you have to know, which part of the body? Not the stomach. Large intestine, small intestine, everything. You have to also know which part of the small intestines are absorbing which nutrients. That much you know. When you see the body composition analysis, if you see that there is deficiency of, if the bone mass is less, you can very well understand this and this condition is there. That means this person's problem is where? Here also. Because in this part, calcium is being absorbed. Selenium is being absorbed. Important minerals that are there, important for our bones and everything. Okay? So you have to be so clear with the basic human anatomy, human physiology. Then only you can correlate with diseases. You can plan diets only when you're very clear with your biochemistry. Okay? Diet planning is not just writing food items. Yes, now we write, right, Barbara? We write diets very fast, right? Because those meal planning calculations which you are doing now and you're very much annoyed, you have to draw those tables and you're not liking it. But those are just baby steps. Once you're in the hospital for internship, those has to be in your mind. Standardized tables, you're not learning that. How many eggs will it be equal to will give how much of protein equivalent to fish and all. Everything has to be very clear in your minds. Those calculations, you have to be that clear, that fast, okay? And this person, you won't believe, this person again, in 3 months, he was saying, मेरा तो पेट इतना ठीक है, अब मैं ये खा सकता हूँ? ऐसा कि नहीं, आप रुकिए, wait for some more time. Yeah, because he was eating those pan masala and all those. I stopped all those. Obviously, if toxins are going in, those will also cause a problem, right? And then in just 6 months, he was totally fine. This person was completely cured. During my introduction, ma'am said that I received an award for excellence in dietetic practice by IAPN India Clinical Nutrition Congress. This was one impossible case because the jury, one of the doctors, this was a gastroenterologist from Italy. He was scratching like this. It was online. How did you cure Crohn's disease? I said, I'm very strong at my basic nutrition. That's why. All right? This is what your basic nutrition knowledge can do. Okay, number 5 and 6 cases are very similar. This is a 37 years old woman with highly irregular periods delayed by 7 to 8 months. You can imagine how she looked like, with acne, with hairs and everything, with weight. And for 25 years since puberty, 25 years she had PCOD. Puberty, she had 12 years of age. Okay, in 1 month she got periods. Why? Why? Her case was properly analyzed, she was properly guided. Your knowledge is so strong. Okay, similar case. Nowadays so many ladies are running after IVFs here and there. This doctor, that hospital, going outside also, spending lakhs of rupees. Can you see this? This woman was trying hard to get pregnant. 7 failed IVFs. And after following the diet, in 1 month she conceived naturally. Impossible, right? I remember from our studies days you were saying about your sister, right? So this was always in my mind. I always looked into this PCOD cases very deeply. Because, when we have a personal touch with somebody, we know the pain of people, we dig into it, right? So we have to dig into the root causes of the problems and apply our basic nutrition. Okay? Okay. So Dr. Grace had already talked about body shaming. So this is somewhat similar. A 24 years old girl struggling to worst extent to gain weight. What worst extent can it be? Can anybody tell me? She tried everything, visited so many doctors. What can she do? What is the worst thing that she can do? Sadly, one doctor said, cold drinks pio, weight gain ho jayega. Some people said, drink alcohol. She drank alcohol. When she came to me, you know what? When I was taking her history, that girl could not swallow properly. She used to feel hungry. We have this wrong concept that to gain weight, we have to give proteins, right? If the person is already having so many if the body is already defective, we have to first make it more effective so that the body can assimilate the proteins that we give later on, right? The body was already defective because this part, the smooth muscles here, the food pipe, the throat, the skin here, was not functional. I didn't do anything special. I just gave all the nutrients that she was deficient, gave everything as per her RDA, and in 1 month she said, ma'am, I can swallow food. In 3 months, she gained 4 kgs, which was like unbelievable thing for her. She cried. I'm not boasting, but then her happiness was up to such an extent. This girl, she came and touched my feet, which I'm not boasting, but then she was so happy, and I was so happy that I could help that girl. This is the power of nutrition. Our body cells can regenerate. God has created us in such a way that our cells already are programmed to regenerate. We just need to give all the facilities to the cell. We have to create that environment. Okay, again, this 15 years old boy almost about to commit suicide because he was a class 10 student. Other boys were teasing him. He was not growing, both his muscles, his growth and everything. He was not even able to kick the ball to up to 6 feet. He was so weak. In 1 month, because I'm not saying we as dietitians and nutritionists, we can identify where is the problem. In 1 month, all the nutritious foods given, his digestion improved. In 1 month, he came and said, ma'am, मैं क्लास के सबसे लंबे लड़के से भी ज़्यादा दूर में बॉल मार सकता हूँ. Can you see this? This is the power of nutrition. And everything starts where? Here. Your basic knowledge. Even though you may be from an arts background, if you're not a CND student, your basic science is very important. Anything related to the cell, anything, it is very important. Understand the function of each cell organelle, which enzymes are produced by each organelle, how and where they are targeting. There you'll find the names of those enzymes which you'll find in the things that you don't like now in your biochemistry. Those cycles, yeah? Then you can correlate how it is going to affect which part of the body. Then when you go to second year, third year, and for your MSc, then you'll be able to correlate everything, and you can be very, very, very good nutritionists and dietitians. Let me tell you that I'm not boasting that I'm a very good dietitian. I'm still, every year, 2 to 3 or 4 courses, I am investing money in upgrading myself, because science always evolves. Science keeps on changing. Researches keep on coming. And I want to get advanced with, I want to keep pace with the latest advances. I don't want to lag behind. This should be your attitude too, okay? And those courses are not expensive because they conduct courses in a mass right nowadays. Those are very affordable, okay? So, basic cell, hepatocytes, understand the basic anatomy and physiology of the liver. It's a very, very strong and very important organ of the body. You know what? The next picture is of the nephron. You know the nephron? How many of you can draw it properly without seeing it now? You don't like it, right? And you're scared that in exam the structure may come and you'll have to draw, right? Especially that network in the glomerulus, right? But this is the most crucial part. Even if you are a very experienced dietitian, there are specialized courses for renal nutrition. It's not a joke. If you are not specialized in renal nutrition, do not take up cases. Refer to renal nutritionists. This is the most critical part. You know, so many wrong concepts are there. Every now and then throughout the years, I find my own patients, I have been giving the diets, and then all of a sudden when I get time, I call up my clients, how are you now? And then 70 to 80% of them, they say, we have gone for dialysis. When I ask, did you eat this? Did you eat eggs? No, we did not. Why? Because doctor said. You have to be so bold, Let doctor prescribe the medicines, we will give you the food. Listen to us. This is my expertise, let me handle this. Listen to me. This is my educational background. This is my qualification. There are different parts of the nephron, and every part has got different function, and you can see different parts of the loops and the distal convolutive absorption, reabsorption of different minerals, different ingredients takes place in the different parts of the nephron. It's so critical, okay? So you have to be so much thorough with your basic nutrition, your human anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. And what is the next picture? What is it? Nerve cells, yes. With nutrition we can cure depression. I have done this. Because why? If you are clear about every part of the neuron, which part has got which composition, you can give specifically those nutrients and you'll see the difference it makes in that person. So many people on antidepressants, they have gone off medicines because fix this, fix the gut also, right? Okay. So what is the moral of my lecture? I'm not boasting my success stories. As nutrition students, you have to be very thorough with biochemistry, not just the cycles. There are books in the library. I will give more reference to Mandari. Mandari is my friend, we are friends from school. So she will give the reference of the books. Maybe they will come in the library also. Correlate everything. Bring up all the books. Physiology books, biochemistry book, correlate. If you find the name of an enzyme here, look to the back of the book and see where that word is mentioned. And then correlate where these things are there and how you'll understand how biochemistry, physiology, anatomy is related to a particular body part. Okay? Okay, and lastly comes the therapeutic diets. Everybody is so excited, right? How many of you got requests from your family members? Please give us a diet plan for diabetes, for fatty liver, for weight loss. How many of you got? Studying BSc right now? Anybody got requests? Yes, I know. This is a normal case. A lot of people do this. I also had this, but one mistake I did, which I did not realize it was my mistake then. An uncle of mine had diabetes. You're studying nutrition, please give me a diet. I gave a diet which was there in the book. Because I did not enter the real field, I was only a BSc second year student. Meal planning was just a beginning. That's why it's a very sound advice. If you really care for the welfare of such a person, never prescribe diets. Always refer to a senior dietitian. Because you may never know what havoc we can do to that person. But luckily that person is fine now, okay? Okay, so this is one very important part, is the scope of dietetics. internships after BSc and MSc. Here sitting here in Shillong or in Northeast, we always have this in our mind. I also had this in my mind after BSc. Immediately, I must go for MSc, and that's why I was a bookworm. I have to get in a good university. I was from Baroda, MS University of Baroda, and our department was the collaborative center of WHO. So that's why I targeted for that. I studied for that. I got there. Okay, but the sound advice that I can give you now. Once you study BSc, go to a good hospital and do internship under a very experienced dietitian, real dietitian. I'll come to that also, who's a real dietitian, and apply the knowledge that you have done. Don't take up very critical cases. Obviously, you will not be allowed, but then you learn what you have learned in your BSc. Go for the internship after BSc. Does not matter. If you get in MSc, it's well and good. If you don't get in MSc, next year is always there. But go for an internship after BSc itself. You'll see the real world, the real hospital setup, how those standardized meals that you're planning, those boring things that you were already learning here, because you have to, everybody, I know as students, a lot of you must be thinking how you can get out of this environment. But then, if you do internship, that is the sound advice. And after you do MSc, internship should not be limited to 3 or 6 months in one hospital only. Every hospital has got specialities. Okay? Every hospital has got dietitians expert in different fields. Gather maximum knowledge from different hospitals. The saddest part is here in Northeast, including Guwahati, we don't have real RDs, and here that's why if you want to do internship, do after BSc, MSc outside, and MSc and the internship after MSc has to be in the metros. You'll learn more, different hospitals, you'll spend more money of your parents, but you'll learn so much. When you come back to Shillong or go to your own other northeastern states, you'll be in the cream light. Your hard work will bear fruit at that time. And until and unless you do not do your internship under a registered dietitian, you cannot even apply for the RD exam. That's why you have to do internship in the metro cities. Unfortunately, in Guwahati, we do not have a single RD. Hospitals are good, but you know what? The malpractice which is going on, I'll tell you after that also. Important membership. After your BSc, when you go for MSc, immediately the nearest membership is NENDA. You know what is NENDA? Have you heard of NENDA? It is the Northeast Nutritionist and Dietetic Association. NENDA, the head office is in Guwahati. Mandari is one of the very previous members, 12 years running. And NENDA membership is very important. Even the doctors in Guwahati, they know if a dietitian or a nutritionist is a member of NENDA, means that girl has done BSc Nutrition, MSc Nutrition, and is a qualified dietitian or nutritionist. That will safeguard you. That will bring you apart. It will bring you apart and bring it to the qualified lot and separate you from the unqualified lot. Okay? Yeah?
You are running?
Yeah, I'm almost done, yeah. And IDA membership, they are not giving for the last 3 years now, because initially, very unfortunate thing is that a lot of people, it's a human temptation, human tendency, for personal gains, a lot of people do a lot of things. So when these things were identified, so IDA Delhi has stopped giving membership for now, till they are also waiting for the NCHP Act to be enacted. Okay, so IDA, you'll have to wait. The immediate thing after your MSc, get the NENDA membership. IAPN is a good organization, but IAPN, you have to understand that the membership is given to even nurses, even non-qualified. Non-qualified means lesser qualified nutritionists also, who have done, other courses. So the most reliable thing for now is NENDA membership, followed by IDA when IDA starts giving. But if you're a real qualified dietitian with BSc and MSc, you will get a registration number under the NCHP Act, which Dr. Grace has already mentioned. NCHP Act, as per the council, you will get membership and registration numbers. And this will be your weapon. Nobody can then point on you. Okay? And wherever on social media, wherever you are, always mention a qualification. Our qualification is the biggest strength. We are masters in nutrition. Okay? Research work and updates already, ma'am, Dr. Grace has said. Always get updated with latest research work. You know, in social media, there are so many quacks. You have heard about this person, Dr. Vishwarup Roy Chaudhary. Yeah, you have heard? Such a big quack. You won't believe what kind of videos he makes, you know. He will say one study, okay, but you have to look for the authenticity. What study, which study, when it was published. Look for, like ma'am has said, .in, and like there are NCIV, PubMed, or Healthline, this kind of websites where you can get the latest researches. If suppose you want to know about liver about cirrhosis, suppose, then go and study all the latest researches. Go see the hierarchy. You know, in the last 10 years, in that particular topic, what study was done, how it changed in 2023. Science is evolving, right? We also have to evolve. You'll be left behind. The challenges both in hospital and ICU and the hospital ICU and IPT. Again, I'll say your nutrition background has to be so strong. Just like the very first case I said, in that hospital, that 72 years old person who was about to die. You have to be so strong, even in the hospital setup. If your nutrition knowledge is so strong, if you can show the doctor that yes, these are the problems, this is going on, this will be better. It's not argument, you know. We have to discuss. We all want the patient to go home alive. Okay? So, be bold enough. Be bold enough to discuss every medical parameter with the doctor. That is how you as a dietitian, you are going to make all the difference. You know what? Another thing, I'll just take 2 more minutes. Why so many people from Northeast are going to Chennai, Vellore and Mumbai and Delhi, Bangalore? Why? For treatment. Why? Spending so much money. Even if they don't have money, they borrow so much money. So many people are selling their properties. You know, as per the latest guidelines, what is the ratio of the dietitian and the patient? 1:30. We are also human beings, right? We cannot properly analyze a case more than 30 patients, we cannot. With a sane mind, if we have to do, then 30 is the maximum limit it should be, okay, because you'll be in a hurry and it will be not quality counseling. Mutual respect for dietitian is the need of the hour. If dietitians, if students like you are very strong in your base, in your foundation, if the hospitals recognize the importance of dietitians, what they can do, if they cannot question your knowledge on nutrition, if you can counter those things that are going on that in the ICU with the patient's parameters, people will definitely start thinking, yes, then survival rates in the hospital will be more. This hospital, here more patients, recovery rate is very high, more and more patients come and they go home alive. You know, in that hospital where it is my uncle of mine had gone, it is an infamous thing. That hospital is known for killing patients. Will people go there? No. People will go to that hospital where there are more dietitians, more qualified dietitians, and where they will see that yes, dietitians are also having a strong hold on the hospital setup. Yes, we can get proper treatment here. And sadly, very few hospitals are doing this. In Guwahati, I found just one hospital where a real dietitian has got real hold on the entire hospital. And we have to earn this respect, mutual respect from the hospital, from the doctors, with our very strong nutrition knowledge. Acha, quacks already Dr. Grace has said. Acha, if you want to go for MSc, let me tell you, as per the NCHP Act, do not go for IGNOU because the Act is clearly mentioning if only you do regular studies of 3 to 6 years, then only you will be qualified as a dietitian or a nutritionist. Who is a dietitian? Background say, but one who goes to the medical setup, in the hospital setup, is a dietitian. One who goes for public nutrition is a nutritionist. This is the basic difference. When people ask, remember, one who is, basic difference is same. I mean, basic education background is same. One who goes to the hospital setup or into clinical setup is a dietitian. One who goes to public health nutrition is a nutritionist. Rest all are quacks.
Sorry to
interrupt,
but we are running out.
Yeah. So that's all. And scope already I already said, and you have got your very experienced teachers here who will guide you for your future endeavors. That's all. Thank you.
Any questions? If there is any question, please raise your hands. We don't have much time to wait. Okay? No questions?
No questions. So my number is here. My website address is also here. Mandari is there, so you can reach out to me. And one more request: I wish that sister was here. The biggest flaw in our field, in BSc and MSc, is that we were never taught for the medical test. Yeah. Yes, Barbara. We were never taught. It is still not being taught in any of the biggest institutions in the country. So, if you want to get updated on it, enroll in one such course where you will get to learn about the medical test. Then only your nutrition degree will be complete. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dietitian Shanika, for your deliberation. And I see that all the audience did not raise any question. Maybe I think that all of them are clear about what you have been given to us. I thank you for sharing your experience, your rich experience, and your valuable skill and knowledge that have helped us in our professional life and also in our at a personal level. You can gain, and we can look forward that we will have another session of this kind in the future with you, where we'll have more time and more interaction. So now we